It's not. Ah, there we are on the stage. That's us. Hi, welcome to Hellbent Live. My name is Jesse Doyle. Listener, you can see us and hear us. I got to get into the chat real quick, make sure that you guys can see us because Joe is fighting his drink over here. Where are we at?
Prepared as always. God, we're pale, man.
Are we?
Yeah, we're pale, boy.
Thank you, Janet. Loud and clear. Goshawk, thank you very much. Goshawk is our bird guy. During the premiere last night, and we'll talk about, of course, the premiere and the video and everything, Goshawk was identifying every nightbird species that we heard in that. So it's good to have a bird guy at our disposal. But we are Hellbent Holler. This is our, I tell you what, we've got to fix this to where I'm not totally covered by these. Like every time when
I need to get you like on like a booster seat or something like that.
I wonder if I can get my chair to fix up here. Hang on.
No,
that's it. All right, we don't have a phone book. We've not had a phone book for 25 years. All right, this is just how it is. This is our weekly show we do.
It doesn't get any better than this.
And it doesn't get any better than this. Let's do it live. We're excited to have you guys here today. We premiered a video last night, and it caused quite a stir, didn't it, Mr.
Indeed, it did. It was surprisingly. It was like a Monday night release, which we don't usually do.
Even Joe looks short. You know what it is? I think the camera, because we have to, this is a camera we take into the field with us, and we have to remount it every time we want to do the show. I think what's happened is you have it like down here. We're going to roll with it.
All right. So.
Yeah, so we premiered a video last night, and you guys had a great response. We had a lot of people in the premiere. More than I expected. So I want to thank everybody that came and joined us in the chat for that premiere. There we go. Do they still make phone books? They do not, Pork Chop. I don't think they do. But we had such a great premiere. I want to thank you guys for all coming out for that and joining us in the chat. We had a blast. And I think it was the right way to bring back one of our old research areas, the Grove. It was really cool to go back into the Grove after being out of there for so long. We've discussed some of the evidence that we've captured in that area, but it's nice to go back in there and actually capture something else. And we're going to kind of talk about today what we captured, what we've captured in the past, our theories on the area. And I know we talked a little bit about it last week. We're going to get into it a little further. And what are the differences between our investigations that we did previously in the Grove and the investigations that we're doing now? How our equipment has changed, how our attitude has changed, how our loadout has changed, and how our investigative techniques have changed through all that. We wanted to kind of get into some Bigfoot investigation stuff throughout this. So we're excited to get into that, right?
Couple quick housekeeping things. We had Bunny Blue McGee when we first came up. Our buddy Hawk Soaring. Hope y'all reach out to my friend or he gets a hold of y'all. Hawk is helping us with some research on a new investigation area.
Sorry.
And God, we're all over the damn place tonight. So
I'm just like so off the screen, 100%.
So, but we appreciate that, Hawk. Yeah, I'm going to try to reach out to him tonight. And then our very own moderator extraordinaire,
Lady Wolf.
Lady Wolf, best damn mod in the business. Love to our irreplaceable duo, Jesse and Joe, for all the fantastic and outstanding work that we do. Love y'all.
Thank you very much, Lady Wolf.
Love you back,
She
Lady
is
Wolf.
the best mod in the business, of course.
So, and then Christina G had asked, great team, great research. Quick question. Have y'all had any UFO or orb sightings while out in the field? We've definitely had a lot of anomalous light sightings, little flashes of light. We got followed by a orb of light in Blackthorn that time. Did you ever release that footage?
I don't think so.
And in North Georgia, we saw something. We saw a light.
We've seen like greenish and blue lights in North Georgia before.
But we saw a light open up.
Oh, you're talking about a burning light.
Yeah, then like what looked like little figures around it, and then it took off up into the air. So I don't know if it was, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was, there wasn't a mundane explanation for it. I don't know if you'd call that a UAP, a portal. I don't know if the figures, I don't even know if those were figures around it. It looked like figures around it, but we had that in our video, a burning light. So we have definitely had anomalous light.
One of my most memorable instances where we saw anomalous light out in the woods was during an investigation that we never actually shared with you guys. It was an investigation into a little known ghost town in Western North Carolina called Lost Cove. Joe and I went down there, and this was pretty early on in our Hellbent holidays, and we filmed and everything. It's a really rough hike in there, but we filmed the whole way. We filmed coming out of there. And at the time we had the night vision camera we had was kind of like a crappy black and white night vision, like Chinese knockoff camera that we got. But that was the only camera that could capture the lights that we were actually seeing. So
we had an early version of the Psionics night vision monocular, and then this crappy knockoff night vision camcorder. And as we were leaving out of Lost Cove, you basically go up the side of a mountain, and you're just switching back and forth up the side of this mountain. So you have a full view of the valley the entire time, or the cove that you're trying to get out of.
We looked down back behind us, and down in the valley where we had just come from, where the ghost town is kind of situated. And there's not much left there. There's basically the shell of a truck, a cemetery, a couple of buildings, one sort of intact building, I think is all that's left, where I was viciously attacked by a bunny.
I was, and we'll circle back to that. But as we were leaving out, we were seeing these little dots of light come down the opposite mountain on the other side of the valley.
And they were orange. And
they were just racing down the mountain. And then they would like go around the old remnants of the settlement, and they would just dance about. And I'm just going, what the hell? We've never seen anything like that before. We couldn't pick the lights up on the Psionics night vision monocular, which was a good, especially at the time, it was like the best like digital night vision thing out there. But we could pick them up on the weird knockoff cheap Chinese night vision camcorder. So I guess the frequency of the light was just different, but it was just odd that we picked them up on one and not the other. But when we were in there before the sun went down, there's a cabin there that is filled with an old cabin from like what, 1920s. It's filled with like a bunch of just graffiti. And I'm in there reading some really spooky graffiti.
That was really, it was like, it was really, really dark, like cosmic horror type stuff.
It was, she asked me, she goes, what are you reading? And I went, some of it's the typical teenage stoner metalhead satanic stuff. And I said, some of it's pretty sophisticated. If we're taking it face value, it sounds like somebody who's kind of like subtly bragging about picking up hitchhikers and killing them. So very weird. And in the midst of me reading this and kind of getting freaked out, I hear her scream, and I draw my sidearm because it's a blood curdling scream. It was a rabbit had been under the cabin,
and it just come out and ran right towards me. I mean, it ran right at me. But so as we're hiking out of there, we see these lights come down the other side, and then they're all in the area where the ghost town is below us. We've already done a couple of these switchbacks up, getting out of that valley there, and we're looking down, and we can see these orange, and it's like this dark burnt orange light. We know that there was nobody down in that valley behind us because we were the last people there, the last people out. We'd gone all around. There's nobody there. There's no other way in except there is a secret way in that's very dangerous. You could take a railroad trestle that's over the river. I think it's over the Nolchucky River, but you can take a railroad trestle and walk the tracks over the river to get there a lot quicker than the regular route that we took in. But I have a mega fear of doing something like that, so we took the long way in.
Blueberry had the best one, the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yeah, I marked that because I was like, how did we forget?
How did we forget about that?
That's the big one.
I'm having paranormal overload where I forget weird things that we've experienced. Our buddy LW Marshall, thank you for that, LW. Here's to a summer of investigation.
We're getting
it's in, man. It's in. The video, the field investigation video that we're going to talk about tonight that we released last night was actually supposed to come out days before. I just struggled with getting the audio, like and those of you who haven't seen it yet, well, there's gonna be some spoilers in this episode, but there was, when that thing sounded off, that weird vocalization sounded off, everything around us went quiet. All the birds, all the insects and everything like that. But there were still in the distance, it was like there was a little bit of wind because there was a storm coming in. It was just a lot of environmental noise. And I had a real hard time trying to, even now it's not cleaned up. I'm not super happy with how I cleaned it up. Because when I cleaned out all of the background noise, it made the call sound even weirder, but it wasn't an accurate representation of what we heard. And we try not to do that. We try not to, to go, oh, it sounds really weird now. We try to give it like an accurate.
And we encountered that with, trying to clean up audio from past expeditions. You can get it to where it's very clean, but it does change how the audio sounds. And we want to have an accurate representation of what we're experiencing out in the field. We want you to experience something that is as close to what we heard as possible, but we're going to try to reduce some of that ancillary noise that we get out there, the crickets, the birds, everything like that. So it was a challenge to do that. And it took a long time. And we finally kind of found that sweet spot where you can clearly hear that vocalization and it kind of reduces all that other stuff. But that is definitely something that we're going to have to work with and work against over the next couple of months. This is our first summer using the super sound stick. Yeah. So that's one thing that's definitely changed when it comes to our loadout. When we were going into the Grove before, we didn't have the super sound stick setup. We developed that during the URI documentary. We developed that at West Morris Mountain Campground to get those vocalizations that we were hearing on a consistent basis. We developed the super sound stick to be a directional point. You point it in the direction you're hearing it and have a high sensitivity shotgun mic there and it go into a recorder, and then we can boost that as much as possible, but constantly follow it and not have it attached to the camera. But this was our first time taking the super sound stick into the Grove, and it was exciting that we were actually able to get some vocalizations. We've gotten vocalizations in the Grove before. We got that very heartbreaking, I'd say, like that wail, and it was in Dogman Lake, I think is what we called the thing. But it sounded completely different from the vocalization that we captured in this release that we have here. It's a totally different vocalization. It sounds like a totally different entity made both of those. But that was insanely clear. So that should tell you how loud that Dogman Lake vocalization was, that we didn't have the sound stick at the time, but we got such a clear vocalization. Of course, that was in the winter and we didn't have any ancillary noise going on.
LW, thank you for that, buddy. We appreciate it. We are community supported. As Lady Wolf says, we do have memberships as well that support this project. The reason why we are able to really start to capture good audio evidence, good thermal evidence, and then hopefully eventually a good Class A sighting on camera is community support. We have taken that community support and we have dumped it into
I'm just having fun with
increasing our skill set, increasing our equipment quality, branching out and doing things that have never been done before in the field of Bigfoot research. And I think the end result is showing how valuable that is. So if you want to support a couple of wacky Bigfoot hunters,
Well, a couple of wackadoos, but we're
Couple
starting
of-
to get results from this. And that's because we are community supported. The community helps.
somebody made a comment going, you guys are just like Bigfoot magnets. And I'm going, hey, we don't know that's Bigfoot. We don't know what it is. It doesn't match up with normal wildlife. It didn't sound like a person. It didn't sound like a dog. It didn't sound like a coyote. Is that what a Bigfoot sounds like? I don't know. Whatever it was big, had a set of lungs on it, and it was pissed off. That was a very angry, aggressive vocalization. I mean, the hair went up on my arms and it did not go down. It was an adrenaline dump hearing that damn thing.
Yeah.
But somebody was like, wow, you guys are like magnets. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's just the fact that this stuff is out there and it's more prevalent than a lot of people think. But it's just that even most of the people that are going out to investigate this stuff aren't doing what we do. And they're not taking the equipment. They haven't learned how to use the equipment. That's not a knock on everybody. There are other people out there that can cast a far better footprint than we can. But as far as like the thermal audio and hopefully video evidence, I think we're getting real damn good at it at this point.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of that is
capture
thanks to you guys. We're able to get the equipment. We're able to progressively get better equipment as new technology comes out. We're able to kind of upgrade that, and we're able to get this evidence. I think that as a result of the tech that we're using and the skill sets that we've acquired, hitting the brush like we are, I think we've been able to get some of the best evidence and a wide body of evidence as a result of that. So a lot of that is thanks to you guys.
Half Inch Wrench crew. We love the Half Inch Wrench guys. Glad to have you here.
And
Rig Outdoors had a good thing. He goes, have you guys ever heard of the Grafton Monster? Yeah, because the audio from last night's premiere sounded similar to the audio sounds from the Grafton Monster. I didn't even know there were audio sounds to the Grafton Monster.
I didn't either.
A lot of times, like very regionally specific, like cryptid activity, if it's not in our region, I'm aware of it. I'm just not that well versed on it. It's just because we're focused on what we can kind of move the needle on here. But you gonna make a note on that?
I don't have a pen.
Boy, we were like completely unprepared for this damn show tonight, man. My Lord.
Usually have a pen here. I don't know what's happened.
You guys just remember Grafton Monster.
I'm gonna get a pen.
And we will try to like look that up because I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it at all.
Isn't the Grafton Monster like big and broad? Like
It's a West Virginia cryptid.
I have a pen.
So I'll have to look up that audio. But for that investigation, we really weren't mentioning the name of the place. And then we were just like, screw it, let's just name it. It's an area we call the Grove, and it is probably, I don't know if it's the most active area we've ever been to, but if it's not, it's damn near close to it. It's really damn near close to it.
Yeah.
And
we've had such a variety of evidence come out of the Grove. It's hard to pin down like exactly what is happening out there.
Yeah, and it's an area that it's not a national forest. We're not talking 500,000 acres. It's big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's big, but it's not that big. And that's why it kind of, originally when we looked at that area, we were just like, there's nothing in there. And then we started getting reports out of there, one after the other after the other. And we finally went in and we were kind of shocked at the frequency and the variety of the activity that we got in there. It was weird, man. It was weird. And it's just, I'll tell you right now that the Grove is one of those areas that really kind of expanded my perspective as far as like what's going on out there with these phenomena. And it was very, very weird. Everything from like stuff that I previously would have felt kind of like silly talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, like Fey activity, but I mean, you look at it and I'm going, that's the closest approximation to what we're dealing with right here. Just some sort of weird trickster kind of thing out. Small footprints in the mud, oversized canine prints, very aggressive canine calls. I maybe experienced mind speak, if that's what you want to call it, out there one time, which was, I still don't know if that's my mind playing tricks on me, whether that actually happened. but it has been consistently one of the most active areas.
We can't forget, we got a thermal out there of something coming out from behind a tree and then evading. We also got in that bamboo grove.
Oh yeah.
Those insane knocks and coming out of that bamboo grove. And that bamboo grove is it's one of the most nerve-wracking places that I've ever been into and investigated. And you guys remember that from previous videos from the grove. We need to definitely go back in there, although I have so much apprehension about that because it's literally like a prison, because you have those bamboo stalks. You can't move them. You can't get between them, and you get trapped in this. And it's basically like a cage or a net or something. So you can't really, if you get deep in there and you need to get out of there quickly, there's almost no way out without kind of retracing your steps to get back out of there. So you can't really have a panic moment and try to get out of there. So it kind of flips me out to be in there.
Yeah, we were approaching this bamboo grove one night on foot. We were actually live streaming it. We had enough signal because it was a little bit of an elevated area to send out a live stream. And we were approaching this bamboo grove, and there was a very loud, like hollow bamboo on hollow bamboo, like far
that was a really
louder and sharper. There. Yeah, far louder and sharper than like just hardwood on hardwood or like pine or something. And we like stopped, and then it did it again. And we kind of rush in there, and it's so difficult to move through there. And you don't want to build a narrative, but it seemed as if something in the bamboo grove was given kind of an alert. Hey, they're coming here.
Yeah.
And then we got in there and we were just tangled in that bamboo, man. It's so thick. It's a big, mature thing of bamboo. And Rig, we appreciate your support, my friend. We appreciate it greatly. But we went back into this area, the grove, because of a extremely recent account that was passed along to us by another Bigfoot like researcher. And he had taken a report from a woman, and you were the one who took all the original stuff. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of this.
So the woman was out in the grove. She was on her morning run. Are we pausing? There we go. She was out on her morning run in the grove, and she was actually in an area that Joe and I had never investigated before. That's what led us down that Forest Service road. So in the grove, there's this whole network of Forest Service roads that go in every which direction, right? So we had never ventured down this road. And I think we even said it in the video, why have we never gone down here? And we don't know. We don't know why we haven't. And actually, I'm glad that this was our first time going down there. But she was out for a morning run, and she saw just in the distance a large, upright, very dark bipedal figure. And that description goes right along with previous descriptions that we've gotten out of that area. There's no specific line that it's Bigfoot. We're just kind of assuming that.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of description over and over again. Large, upright, on two legs, hulking figure that is
moving aggressively. Now, the other thing too that I find interesting about that area is that we've only had one person from that general area report a Bigfoot sighting, a Class A sighting in daylight, and he saw it driving by. It was on the side of the road. He looked right at it, and he can describe what it looks like. But everybody else, especially the bow hunters, and now this lady in the woods, describe upright, dark, hairy figures that basically chase them out of the woods aggressively. And that's about where the description ends. And you can't, what did the face? I didn't really get a good look at the face. And that's something that you see pop up in Southern Appalachia sometimes. These things with no faces. And that stretches back to pre-European settlement, some of the Native American, Cherokee in this area, they had legends of creatures that, with no faces. Europeans would talk about things with no faces because they would have the exact same encounters, that they would have these things that they were into, but then they couldn't describe their facial features.
But it's almost like you could have every minute detail about this thing except for the face.
Well, the guy who saw Bigfoot, remember, during the drive-by, he
saw the face for sure.
And it was burned into his mind. It was driving him crazy. He was like, I closed my eyes and it's like it's inside my head looking at me. It's just there. It's in my head. It won't get out. And it caused him a lot of problems. which is odd because it wasn't aggressive. He's in a moving car, probably physically very safe. And yet he seems to be the person out of everybody that's had an encounter in that area that carries lingering effects.
Yeah.
But so that's weird. It's a lot to unpack, and I don't know what that means. But everybody else, now it could be a combination of things, adrenaline. Sometimes a lot of times it's dusk or dawn. So poor light, adrenaline, just the fact that it's so thick in there. I mean, in the video, we had you go kind of just right into the tree line. Couldn't see you were there, you know, but I keep finding it interesting. I'm fascinated to see future accounts. If we get any out of there, if anybody's ever able to give us a description of the face, or is it not a Bigfoot, or is it not a Dogman, or can Bigfoot and Dogman sometimes do that? Can they? All I can tell you though is that we're seeing a pattern develop here. Oh no, it's not developing; it's developed.
Yeah.
I can give you a general physical description of it, how it acted, but I can't tell you what its face looked like.
Isn't it interesting that out of all of these accounts and all these descriptions, no one can remember its face? They're able to tell you the story. Okay, this is what happened. It freaked me out, scared me. I don't remember its face. I don't have any details about the face, just this figure. But the one guy that really remembers it, the face shook him so badly that it seems like it changed the course of his life forever. He has almost what you would call PTSD symptoms from seeing this thing's face and registering its face. It's almost as if seeing that, realizing that, registering the face, and really seeing that it affected him in such a way mentally that he could not come back from it. Is the fact that a lot of these people can't make out the face, could that be that filter system in the brain protecting them from something, you know, or is there some other factor there? It's something to think about.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We're going to kind of veer off into unexpected territory.
Well, we've got an hour. We've got time.
You know, we can do whatever the hell we want. It's our damn show. There's a guy, and I used to talk about him on the show all the time. There's a scientist by the name of Donald Hoffman, and he's an MIT researcher. He's actually on the latest episode of American Alchemy. And I saw it. I have not listened to the episode yet. I saw it mentioned somewhere. And I went, man, I haven't talked about Bernardo Kastrup or Donald Hoffman in a while. And they're guys who basically, their spiel is, and there's variations between the two, is that people, Homo sapiens, we're not evolved to really see reality, see the reality around us. That what we see is what our species has evolved to basically pay attention to the stuff that's going to allow us to live long enough in order to like procreate and continue the species.
This is sort of the dashboard thing.
That, like I said, you're not seeing reality, you're seeing a dashboard, or you're seeing a series of icons on a computer screen. When you're using your computer and you move your little mouse icon and you send something to the little trash can, there's not a physical trash can inside your computer. There's, you know, a series of circuits and silicone that, you know, and that's a representation of it. And that's basically what you're seeing, is that you're not seeing the collection of atoms that make up this pair of glasses. You're seeing an icon, a representation of it. And you're not really seeing a lot of stuff. There's a whole world around you that you don't see. You know, light on either end of the spectrum of what visual, you know, your visual acuity can pick up. You can't see a lot of electromagnetic energy around you. You can't see a lot of stuff. Gas, you know, certain gases have no, you know, you can't see them. They're invisible, but they're still there.
Oh, we know they're there.
We just can't see them. And he's coming back into it right now, going that he doesn't think that I'm paraphrasing by a very brief description of the episode that I have read and not listened to yet, that alien life might be around us right now, and we have just evolved not to see it. Okay. Yeah. Maybe noticing it and seeing it runs counter to our race's ability to be able to procreate and continue. So I wonder sometimes when these people have these these extremely like harsh biological and psychological responses to like running up against the other like that. Is it something of a tangible nature that's affecting them? Radiation, RF signals, something like that? Or is it like Lovecraftian, you know, like H.P. Lovecraft? Are they literally brushing up against something that Homo sapiens has evolved to not see and not interact with because it's harmful to our existence as a species? Is all this making sense?
Yes.
And sometimes when you see it, your body shuts down because your body's going, no, this is what we're trying to, your brain's going, this is what we're trying to protect you from.
It has to protect you from it, because if you end up with a total mental breakdown, then this is all falling apart. You know, It's over for the organism if it mentally breaks down. If
they're usually not bothering you, but you just don't see them. And I've always thought that about the various explanations for aliens and then other creatures. Are they from another dimension? Do they just kind of come in, you know? Are they crypto-terrestrials? Are they just hidden here somewhere? Are they ultra-terrestrials? Are they whatever? And I'm just going, maybe they're just here all the time, but they hide. And they don't hide in ways like ducking behind a tree and stuff like that, but they literally have a methodology, like some sort of like ingrained ability to keep you from seeing them.
Yeah.
And sometimes that veil drops on purpose, or maybe just all the conditions are right and you see what you're not supposed to see, and you are struck with overwhelming fear, sometimes nausea, and sometimes your body has physical reaction to it that's not pleasant, and that sometimes lingers with you at that point. So
yeah, we got some stuff marked.
Brad, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Brad Cole.
We appreciate you.
We got some stuff marked on there as we go along. I think the Half Inch Trench Crew is here. Hello.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Let's see what else we got here. Here we go. Ventus Bruma.
I love that name.
Best name. Maybe the man who could remember the face was sensitive, and it's not something you're supposed to see. A lot of fae beings drive people mad when they've seen them. Yeah, perfect comment. It matches up exactly with what I'm talking about. And again, you're really into some weird esoteric stuff. This whole thing's like esoteric. This whole thing's weird. None of this makes sense, you know? And I think we've got to just start kind of going, once you recognize and you accept the fact that all this stuff is going on, what's impossible changes a great deal. Some of this stuff might not be probable, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Once you accept the fact that there's a whole world out around there that they tell you does not exist.
And even within mundane things, you know, if you don't have the knowledge of what the limits are, you don't know what's impossible. And that's how people are able to move outside of the prescribed framework of anything. I think I showed you a video the other day of Orson Welles talking about, you know, Citizen Kane was his first film. And the director of photography that wanted to work with him on Citizen Kane said, I want to work on your picture because you don't know what you're doing. So you don't know what's impossible.
You know, and that's the other thing too, is that I was involved in like solitary Bigfoot research for a long ass time before I even met you. Never had any luck at all. And it was always an interest that I kept coming back to, but it wasn't like a driving, like obsession like it is for both of us right now. And I was always, and most of that was because I knew and I saw what happens to the group dynamics of people that try to look at this stuff. The groups always fall apart, you know?
Yeah.
And there's always just craziness that goes along with it. And you see it right now on social media, anything like Bigfoot or Dogman related right now, that's just a reflection of the way it's always been. And so as a result, I was aware of a lot of stuff, but I didn't have any sort of like social pressure to adopt any particular views or any particular methodologies. I just did whatever the hell I wanted to do.
And you were also not like under the gun of you didn't have somebody telling you, you know, you didn't have like a mentor.
And I also, I'm pretty like
hard-headed.
I go against the grain on a lot of this stuff. And I get very, when people just tell me something and they tell me that's how it is, and you can't tell me how you arrived at that conclusion and demonstrate it, then I just go, no, I'm going to go take the exact opposite stance now. But we didn't really have a lot of those social pressures. So we were able to go into some weird ass directions with some of this stuff.
We've always been kind of outsiders when it came to this. I think even when we started out, we were starting to go to events and stuff like that. We started out as outsiders, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've got iconoclast on my thing right there. I'm definitely somebody that I don't want to like destroy somebody's theory just for the simple fact of it. But
that's what I do, because I'm the cryptid warlord.
Yeah, but I'm open to some weird stuff. I'm open to the possibility of some really, really weird stuff. But I'm not open to any of it being definitive or definitely what's going on just because somebody told me that's the case.
Yeah.
But you know, you look into this stuff and I just go, obviously the mainstream, the Bigfoot mainstream way of thinking about this stuff hasn't moved the needle.
Yeah.
The only thing that has really moved the needle as far as like the worlds of the weird is in the UAP UFO communities. And they have gotten away from, these are alien rocket ships, to talking about stuff like this. Well, it's different, like, you know, layers of reality, and we're dealing with like fourth and fifth dimensional beings. And
I think what spurned a lot of that on was Gary Nolan. You know, Gary Nolan back in 2016, he made a declaration that he was going to see to it that there was a professionalization of the field. You know, up until that point, you had so many people, you had great people with great ideas involved in it, but there was just so much noise going on. And the field was so dominated by people that were self-serving of their egos, and they caused the noise so that they could have control over the system itself. And I think that at the beginning of this year, you know, I declared war. And this is what we are doing. We are declaring war against this framework that we've all been given up until this point. I don't want to burn down the house, but I think it's important that we kind of shake things up, try new approaches, and just get out of this rigid framework that we've all been in for so long.
If you don't have a Bigfoot in a cage in your basement, you do not have the right to tell anybody that you caught yourself. You do not have the right to tell anybody what they're doing is wrong. They should be doing something else. We should have a very holistic approach to all of this stuff. We should have 1,000 different groups trying 1,000 different things, and maybe one of those things will work.
And also, there shouldn't be a fear of failure either. No. Like, there should always be experimentation that more often than not should lead to failure. I mean, absolutely. But you need to be trying new things. That's the important thing, because if 1 out of 100 of those new things you try lands, bam, you've got something magic.
I always hate when people tell like newcomers to this, you know, I've been doing this for 40 years. You've been failing for 40 years. Have you proved it yet? Then you have a longer track record of failure than I do. At this point, all of us are batting zero. We're catching little glimpses. We're doing whatever, but none of us have any like really hard answers yet. So get some fresh perspective in here. But I think that's one of the things that's going on at the Grove, man. Even maybe more so than like Blackthorn, which is another really weird research area. The Grove, now it goes quiet sometimes. And you know, there's an old highway that's like near there that was rarely ever used. And then every part of the South right now is under construction. So there's roads constantly being shut down and everything like that. And traffic patterns are all crazy. And we saw that after Helene, when there's these little 1.5 lane mountain roads that now have tractor trailers on them because, you know, their other route is shut down.
That's what you call a terrifying trip back from somewhere. Like we would go to a conference or something, and we would be forced to, I know some of you have taken this, that detour through Hot Springs when 40 was out, coming down through Hot Springs and then back up, surrounded by tractor trailers. Terrifying.
So
but go on.
It went quiet, and you could hear traffic in the background on like the edges of this area sometimes, which kind of, I'm always like that. I hear traffic right over there. There's nothing weird here. That's something that I have to get over. I mean, obviously a dude was in his car and he saw one.
Well, yeah. Look how many sightings of Sasquatch are roadside sightings.
But I like doing investigations like remote. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that uncertainty ups like your fear factor sometimes, which makes stuff like more fertile for these things to appear.
And it's also going to cut down on the interference with our audio collection that we have.
But I got this is such a great comment, and then I'll take it down. A lot of faith things drive people mad when they see them. There's one instance of that out here in the Grove, and then there's other instances of people not getting a good enough look at something and still being terrified of it.
Yeah.
Or they're getting a good look at it and they don't remember it afterwards. So, Alita, thank you so much. We love you guys. We appreciate the support.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And then our buddy Dave, sorry for running late. Here's a donation to the 4570 Ammo and Bear Spray Fund. We do not have a 4570, actually. I talk every year about getting one, and then every year it gets pushed back. So,
well, we definitely have to up the bear spray. We're going to be going into bear country soon.
Yep. So, but we will spend that on bear spray, sir. 50% ain't bad there. William Kennedy letting us know the trash can icon is not physically real.
I just hear we need like an AI voice that we have that we can put in William Kennedy's like comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
The trash can icon is real.
Buddy Ken Lucas, 2552. You may not want to know what's in our outbuildings. Just saying.
Are they missing people?
Yeah, Ken. Anything's possible with
could be your banner. Your banner is probably in the outbuilding.
Roundly used. Anyway, but it's weird. And then we heard that. So we're out in the Grove, we're out there looking, and you can kind of tell from the first part of the investigation, we're just kind of popping around going, well, we've never been in this area before. Wow, it's thick. You know, some of the terrain over here is different than the rest of the Grove. You know, and we're just back in there, and it wasn't until we really heard that first vocalization that everything kind of changed. And that was because I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't expecting anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting anything. This wasn't going to be a super long multi-day investigation out there. We had a big storm coming in, so we knew we had a time limit on how long we were going to be out there for. And then that vocalization happened. And I'm going to probably, when I get some free time, set back down and try to clean that first vocalization up a little bit more, and then maybe just release that as a short.
Yeah.
Because man, when we heard that, it didn't sound aggressive. It sounded angry.
Yeah.
It sounded like pissed off.
And while we were in the chat last night during the premiere, you know, as soon as that vocalization came across and everybody heard it, there was an overwhelming response from everybody in the chat that said it was angry. It was aggressive. Like everybody else kind of read that as well. The cleanup you did on it was great. But yeah, if you want to fine tune it,
I'm going to try to.
You can hear it, but you can hear that whatever this was large. It was aggressive. It was angry. It had just such a heavy amount of anger to it. Just you know.
But anyway, thank you for that, Ken, and thank you for that, JGYH5FC. Thank you for that super sticker. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That will go towards the Bear Spray Fund. Our buddy Kaiju Ninja, in your opinion, what do you think other researchers are doing wrong, failing at research, and need to change? I don't think that there's a right or wrong way to do this. The only thing that I find fault with is
the preoccupation that some folks have with coming at us about how
or
we
anybody
do things, or anybody.
You need to do this. Why do we need to do that? Because this is how you do it. Who does it that way? Well, we do.
Okay, we'll keep doing that.
Have you proven Bigfoot has existed yet? No? Then STFU. I don't care what you're doing. We're going to do whatever we do at this point.
I still always go back to the guy who played the drums in the snow.
What was his name?
Always.
I
is
skip my tongue. But yeah, we literally need people trying everything. We need to have like every wacky idea that you can think of. Try it for a while, see if it works. We don't need everybody running around with little bats and their little plaster. I was talking about that earlier, that for a lot of times, casting that print is the end result, not finding what made the print. We go, there's like a print. Let's go that way.
You get to that point, you're like, there's a print here. And then, you know, perhaps part of it too is maybe that fear that if we keep moving, was this our big piece of evidence? Was in this expedition, that print that we saw right here, is that our big piece of evidence for this expedition? And maybe there's that fear there is if they keep moving and they spend their time moving forward, going after what this is, instead of capturing this print, that they may have missed the opportunity for this. But I think a lot of people get hung up on that instead of pursuing what is out there and what's further down the line. I think there's that fear that perhaps this print is it. This is all I'm going to get. But you have to take that chance. You have to take that chance to keep moving forward and keep pursuing what you're looking for.
And that's cool if people want to do that. That's just not our gig. But people are constantly just like, why don't you cast prints? And I'm like, I want to cast prints. I don't care if another print ever gets cast ever. How many good cast footprints are there right now? Hundreds? A couple thousand? And that hasn't done anything. That hasn't done anything other than going, oh, I cast a print. It's like collecting baseball cards.
You can take your fish photo with your big print.
Yeah, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing that always gets me is that my thing is that I just wish that people would not try to enforce standards that have not been proven to work. Okay.
Tell me what to do, man.
We approach this like photojournalists. We want to get video of it.
Yeah.
Audio of it, thermal of it. That's what we want to get. I don't want to cast footprints. I don't want to like have poop in my fridge for like 10 years and I don't know what to do.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Speak for yourself.
So I don't want to do, I just, but if somebody wants to do that, that's cool.
God bless you.
But
have fun.
I see that every time, like we'll put something up and like, like if you share something on like Facebook, we'll get a laugh react. And I already know what the Facebook page is going to be before I get there. It's going to be a guy in his mid-60s. You know what I'm saying? Lots of Bigfoot stuff. No real interaction. And I'm just going, why? Because we'll just laugh it off. But if somebody was just starting out on that, you've now soured it for them because you're an a-hole. And I guess that's where my thing is at, is that the Bigfoot community has been so self-regulating for no other reason than to just appeal to the people that are the regulators. And that's kind of broken now. You've got people that are.
Oh, congratulations for being one of the individuals with a hammer. I'm also a man with a hammer.
And so, but I mean, look at the Bigfoot, the cryptid campout we went on. Okay?
Janet brought something up about that. I marked that. Go down here.
It's, we had Sasquatch Theory, Half-Inch Wrench Crew, Hellbent Holler there. Our buddy Jeremiah, who's one of the best people as far as.
On down, Janet's. Or no, it was above. It was above, right there.
As far as
Janet
people who collect stuff, yes, small groups all doing different things worked for us at the campout. And there was no ego at all. There was no ego.
It was wonderful.
There was no ego at all. It was everybody just going, and if somebody experienced something, everybody was happy for that person.
Yeah.
Not everybody immediately leapt in to kind of just like break their encounter down and tell them they were stupid or try to go, well, you needed to do this. No, it was cool. We had multiple different researchers there with multiple different skill sets that were all just so jazzed to be working together. And like there was zero ego. And at the end of it, we were just like, man, it was just so cool working with you guys. It was just cool as hell being out with Sasquatch Theory and Half-Inch Wrench Crew. Those dudes are awesome. And they're like very skilled, especially in things that we're not skilled at.
Oh, absolutely. Their skill set is so different from ours, and their tech skills are so different from ours.
But at the same token, it all meshed together, and we're all going, we got to get out in the field together again. Nobody there was no, it was just great. I mean, it was phenomenal. I don't even know how many people were at that camp out, like 50. And everybody just meshed together so well because everybody was there because of love of the subject and love
of the game.
Love of the game, baby. And not, I'm going to show everybody what a great Bigfoot researcher I am. So, there you go. What else did we have here?
Paramedic says we need to find a 10-foot turd.
He's going to send us a 10-foot turd. Now watch. He's going to get a 10-foot box via UPS. Johan, I'm not going to pronounce the rest of it. Hi, Jess. My name is Johannes from South Africa. Welcome to the channel.
I marked that because we need to have like a map that we can color in, and we can say, time to color in South Africa.
Yeah, because we need a map. We actually need a map.
Because we have people from the UK. You were talking to somebody from Ireland earlier. But I think Johan is probably our first.
We're big in Australia.
South African.
Yeah, we are big in Australia. So
we are big in Australia. I think they like terrifying, dangerous things. So I think we're right up their alley.
Scorp has a thing going. The greatest thing all researchers get wrong is not being in the right place at the right time. And I would take it one step further. You guys that especially have been with the channel for a while have watched the frustration and sometimes just the we beat ourselves up because something. And if you look at our earlier stuff, there's a lot of, did you hear that? And then you can't hear anything.
And we are guilty of that too. We didn't have the technology.
Well, that's what I'm going to. So we didn't have it. And we beat ourselves up until we developed it.
Yeah.
And even now, we still don't catch everything that we experience. Catch a lot of it though. And guess what?
Better all the time.
This time next year, we'll be catching even more of it.
Yes, they will.
And 5 years from now, even more of it. Until finally, I think our skill set is going to be good enough that when that magic moment happens, that up close Bigfoot sighting, dogman sighting, whatever, we're going to capture the damn thing. And it's going to be unmistakable. It's going to be undeniable. You're not going to be able to say it's fake or AI or anything like that. But I think that's the thing, is that everybody gets so hidebound into like just doing things the same way all the time, and not just constantly going, I got to do better. I got to do better. I got to do better. We got to get some headway on this. You need obsessed people with this is what you need. You need very obsessed yet very open people. And
I'm sorry.
What do you got?
Pyro goes, Jeremiah's a tall white. I'll never forget at that camp out with that last night when Jeremiah looks at me and goes, we're all going to die. I was like, oh my God, we got to get out of here.
Our buddy Harbor King. Hey, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Hope you were doing well, my friend. I got excited about the quartz stuff, the markers. What was that?
Yeah.
Somebody else had mentioned about the quartz markers we were finding in front of the path before.
So Joe did an experiment. Do you want to talk to him about that experiment you did?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this other comment here real quick.
Okay.
And then the paths, T-Guzzler, those paths marked with quartz really got me wondering. Now there was a channel, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. Somebody in the chat is going to know who this is. It's like a gear review channel, like an outdoor gear review channel. And he's dipped his toes into the Bigfoot stuff every once in a while. And he was somewhere in South Carolina, if I remember correctly. If it wasn't South Carolina, it was North Carolina. And he was finding very white pieces of quartz on top of the forest debris, the forest duff, pine needles, leaves, branches, all that exactly like what we have found. Now, from what I understand, these were smaller pieces, kind of like what we found in this investigation.
These are just pieces that are about this big. Yeah.
His, I think, were smaller even, but he thought it was very strange. And we caught a lot of guff for it because in the Blackthorn, we were finding triangular and like triangular and pyramid shaped pieces of quartz. And that's where Quartzgate came up, because we pulled one of them up to take photos of, and people were like, they're placing this quartz everywhere. They're out there with little hammers shaping this quartz.
I would be in much better shape if I was hauling quartz around in a backpack.
But we laughed it off because it's ludicrous. But now somebody else is in the same region is noticing it too. And I think that people have often walked past it and not really seen a pattern that's there. Now, and we've talked about this, but I read an article, and let me see if I can find that article. I read an article. Actually, I have it on my phone, but I don't know if I can share it. Let's see.
In the meantime,
here we go.
Oh, you got it?
I got it. Nope, I don't have it.
I was about to say, dang, you're really good.
There was an article that came out that talked about how deer rubbings on trees.
In the meantime, I do have this. Pork Chop is coming to us live from the Nagoya Sushi and Hibachi restroom. Joe is doing a great job. The miso soup tastes like dirty sock water. So this week's restaurant is Nagoya Sushi and Hibachi for the live bathroom.
For those of you guys who have not maybe possibly been with us for a while, Pork Chop Express is one of our OG Hellbenders, and he has a tendency of, when the show is going on and he's out to dinner, he sneaks away to the bathroom.
He's always out to dinner during the show, so
he sneaks away to the bathroom and then tunes in from like a stall and just hides in there watching Hellbent holler. But an article came out late last year, and it basically talks about, I don't want this damn pop up, good God almighty. So it talked about how scientists were realizing.
I just had an idea. After you get done with this, ask me about the UV and markers. Go ahead, go.
So if you've been in the woods, you see like fresh rubs on trees from deers rubbing their antlers on them. And when you see it, it's obviously usually a paler piece, paler spot on the tree from it. Well, Scientists finally realized that deer can see into the ultraviolet, the opposite side of infrared, which is what infrared and night vision cameras are usually using. It's what game cameras use. And everybody's always like, Bigfoot sees in infrared. And I'm going, well, that rules it out being a big monkey because that's biologically impossible for a warm-blooded creature to visually see infrared. But they realized that deer see on the opposite end of the spectrum. They already knew that caribou did and a few other animals, but they realized that deer could see in the ultraviolet range and that they do these scrapings on trees and that at dawn and dusk, these things basically glow, that they would see a blue or purple light coming from like these fresh rubs, especially in twilight. And it was used to look for other deer for breeding opportunities, okay? And we kept seeing this quartz, especially in Blackthorn, it just weird places, sometimes rammed into trees on stumps, all of this stuff, sometimes pyramid shaped. We found one little one that we almost are positive it's a arrowhead that we found.
It looks like it's been napped. I'll hold it.
Yeah, it looks like it's been shaped. It's sharp. And we've got a theory on that we'll get to later, but we kept looking at it and I'm going, is there something going on here beyond just that we're not seeing? Is there some sort of because sometimes it was almost seemed like symbolic, like it was trying to say something, but we weren't the intended audience. So I went out there with a full spectrum camera one night alone, little action cam that like ghost hunters use that sees ultraviolet light. Actually, it sees ultraviolet, visible light, and then the infrared. It's a full spectrum camera. And I went out there and with infrared, the stuff that game cams and night vision cameras use and all that, the quartz was just dull. It didn't really do anything. You hit it with ultraviolet light and it just glowed. It just lit up. It was incandescent. And that's when I went, well, it's not biologically impossible for warm-blooded animals to see ultraviolet. At dawn and dusk, this stuff would glow to the right set of eyeballs. Is this something going on here? Is it communication? Is it used for navigation? Is it used to mark certain areas? Is it used to do something? And we're just walking, to us, it's just a white stone, but to the right side of eyes, it tells a story. Now, some of the pieces of quartz are very large. And I realized that sometimes lichen, dirt, anything like that would dull that luminous nature of the quartz. And I'm going, you could almost write on it temporarily with the right medium and to an eye that was like more geared towards ultraviolet light, it would be written on there. You wouldn't see it with the naked eye necessarily, but you would see it with an eye more tuned to ultraviolet light.
Because
and I'm going,
reflect that.
You could literally use a stationary piece of sizable white quartz as temporary instructions or symbols or anything like that. And I'm going, I think there's a whole world out here that we're not aware of that's just right underneath our feet, and most people don't pay attention to it. And whoever this gear reviewer guy is also started paying attention.
It was Luke from the Outdoor Gear Review channel.
Okay, so also just went, I don't know what this means, but it's out of the ordinary. It's not natural for pieces of stone to be on top of stuff like that. Usually rocks will just through the rain and everything like that, they'll kind of start to sink into the ground a little bit. Especially it's weird to have pieces of white quartz on top of leaves that haven't been off a tree that long,
Yep.
So something's going on there. We're not the only people that have seen it. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's people doing it, you know what I'm saying? And it's something, I don't know. I don't understand why they would do it, but I don't understand why Bigfoot would do it either. I don't know, but it's out of the ordinary and it's weird. Something's going on there. So
can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And Cryptid Castleberry said, Jesse just had a download. I just had an idea. So I got something from a bougie little, they do one-off pigments and stuff like that. It's an art supply. I got an ad for it, and I don't know why I had to order this, but it is a pure pigment that is ultra UV reflective. Okay, so I got some of that. Who's to say we can't take some of that pigment, put it in a medium, and then we can set some sort of visual trap that way? If these things are using this to navigate or to mark something or to communicate in some way, say we use that UV pigment, it's going to stand out like crazy to whatever these things are. So we could use that to mark something, and it would be a novel thing. Like we do novel scents, we do novel sounds in an area. What about if we tap into its thing and use novel visuals in its area?
I was thinking that
using that UV.
That area is really difficult to kind of maneuver around in warm weather. So when fall gets here, we need to go out there and we need to start loading those full spectrum cameras out.
Yeah.
With us all the time, and start again, like everything else, look for the pattern. Yes. See if we can see a pattern. And maybe the using a medium on the white quartz to break up the glow of it as some sort of like method of like, primitive writing. Maybe that's just me talking out of my butt. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not going on. But I'm just telling you right now, it looks like something is using pieces of quartz. And if it's not for UV, maybe it's just because it's white and it stands out against it. But as soon as I read that article about deer, they make a big deal about going in this article, and it's New Science from, when was it done?
I think we've got to get to some of these super chats here too.
But they're basically just going that there's a whole just world. We don't have the ability to see it unaided. Just like we were talking about earlier, maybe there's strange phenomena around us that we don't have the ability to see unless they decide to let us see them, or unless all the stars align, and maybe literally, and that's when we can like see this stuff. So, all right, see what else you got here.
We got some super chats.
Hawk soaring.
Hawk soaring.
Joe, you're no spring chicken. 15 to 20 years is going to put you up there. Going to be a pawpaw. To quote Doc Holliday, I'm in my prime.
I'm in my prime.
I'm in my prime. Chris Lockhart, we appreciate you. LiDAR Starter Fund. Boy, it never ends for us, because now you're going and saying that, and I'm going, oh, LiDAR would be kind of handy.
LiDAR would be handy. And then we kind of get into some of this ancient archaeology that I'm ready to get into as well. Because some of this ancient archaeology connects with the Bigfoot subject, and I want to get into some of that. That's what I'm ready to do.
Very good. Thank you so much for that, Chris.
Thank you,
greatly
Chris.
Appreciate you. We appreciate you. We also appreciate Michael Tovar.
Michael
Tovar, you spoil us.
You've gone too far, Tovar.
You've gone too far, Tovar. So we appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Hawk. Thank you so much for everybody. We'll do a rundown of everybody who's financially supported this madness at the end of the show. But it's like that. And we saw that on display in the Grove, those pieces of quartz in front of those little paths heading into the woods and everything there.
And like I said, it wasn't just happenstance. It was intentional. If it happened maybe twice, that's one thing. We kept seeing it and kept seeing it and kept seeing it. It was, you couldn't deny the pattern after a while. And we didn't even show all the ones that we found. No. Because I was like, I can't just keep showing these, because this video is going to go on an extra half hour.
And again, here's the deal. Like we talked about with Blackthorn. Is it people out there doing it? Why are they doing it? People do weird stuff. That explains that. But in Blackthorn, that doesn't explain the very heavy rocks that are stacked up. Remember, I always go, are there just like autistic powerlifters out here that just like to stack stuff? And that's what they're out here doing? The quartz, if it's being shaped by people and they're just going out and shaping it, why are we not seeing flecks of like chipped quartz anywhere through there? Now, one of the things I thought of is that Native Americans, indigenous tribes, would sometimes shape mostly arrowheads, but occasionally spearheads and stuff like that out of white quartz. Apparently, it's very difficult to do. It's much harder than like knapping flint.
Yeah, that's what we're reading on there.
But it was like apparently people that were exceptionally skilled could do it. And I'll tell you right now, by rubbing this one, it holds a very good edge. And I'm going, are we seeing the continuation out in Blackthorn, to kind of get off the Grove for a minute, of a practice that's maybe a holdover from the time when the indigenous tribes were living in that area? Was because you always hear about indigenous tribes trading with some of these creatures, having a much more sometimes casual, but definitely more intimate relationship with these things, like where they were much closer proximity, there was more interaction. Sometimes trade took place. Is there some sort of mimicking out there going on where something is mimicking napping?
Or a continuation of tradition?
I don't understand. It's just, and people can say it's crazy. I know y'all are faking it and everything like that. Sure, man, I'm going to spend countless hours making this just to have on like a YouTube show, anyway. But
now, some of you that have been with us for a while and know a lot about the Blackthorn area, we do have over 300 page, basically a dossier, a study that was done on the area in the 80s. And what they discovered, it was an archaeological study on the area. And what they discovered is that area was actually the location of several pre-colonial camps. There were never any, from what they know. Now, don't know if that's true or not, but from what they discovered during the study, there was no permanent camps out there, no permanent villages, no permanent settlements of any kind with pre-colonial Native Americans, but there were camps out there, and it was kind of moving camps about. So that would be something that you would find at an area where there was one of these pre-colonial indigenous camps.
Exactly. So, but anyway, so it's, every time we think we're done with like an area, we get pulled back in, and it's not just maybe the activity starting back up again, but like another layer comes over. Now we've got to go back into the grove and start to investigate some of these like side corridors and everything like that. Try to go out there, and it's going to be difficult as summer continues. That whatever made that vocalization sent the forest quiet.
Yes, and you guys could absolutely hear that as well.
But I was fighting it. It hadn't gone quiet yet when it started up, and I was still fighting the wind. And it never sounded off again in that spot in that manner. So, but the whippoorwills stopped, the insects stopped, the other night birds. If Goshawk, our bird guy, is here, he was in chat just going, all the birds just stopped. That's just not ordinary. That's not normal.
He said that something was definitely close by. Some sort of predator was close by. And that's why we keep a bird guy around.
Yeah. So it's and the grove has been given its size, the sheer number. And again, I'm sure we've just scraped we're seeing the tip of the iceberg as far as like experiences that people have had out there, encounter stories. Any encounter you hear out of an area, you don't have a full picture of that. Most people would never even consider reporting it or talking about it to anybody. So for us to have received the number that we have is kind of shocking for that area. And the fact that we've had one guy that was willing to kind of talk to us. And remember, we ran into him. He had sent us an email. Where did we run into it? Sportsman's Warehouse?
Yes.
And he was like, Joe and Jesse. And we're like,
we get that sometimes, but it's always in, this is where we get recognized.
Palmetto State
Armory, Sportsman's Warehouse, and
Kroger Deli.
PetSmart.
PetSmart, yes. So, and he had found some weird tracks out there, and he was willing to kind of talk to us, but he didn't want to go, public and talk about it publicly or anything like that. And he had just found the tracks. He hadn't actually had like a sighting of whatever the hell's out there. And it's just weird. And the fact that it's bow hunters. And one of the bow hunters, at least one, admitted to having a sidearm with him. And did you think about drawing your sidearm? No, I just something was telling me that it wouldn't do any good. What was telling you that? I don't know, man. I just knew that I get fixated on that too. Did you just get a real accurate reading of the situation, or was something, when you say something just told me it wasn't going to do any good, did something literally tell you that it wasn't going to do any good? Did something literally influence you into thinking, don't even mess with your firearm, it's not going to be any good at all?
Right.
So, all right.
We got some stuff marked there for when I get.
Buddy, Miranda had asked for a knife check.
Miranda is our official knife check ambassador.
Knife check queen.
All right. What you got there?
I got a cold steel hat on, and I got a cold steel knife. I got a cold steel Spartan.
Nice.
Not surprisingly enough, that handle is really damn comfortable and locks your hand into it. And it's a kind of a goofy looking blade shape until you actually handle the damn thing and you realize how effective it is. But I've been rocking a Spartan all day long today.
I didn't realize that you were wearing a cold steel hat, carrying a cold steel knife, because I'm wearing a Microtech polo. And guess what I'm carrying?
Were you carrying a Microtech?
I'm carrying a Microtech. This is a cool Microtech that I've got. Most of the Microtechs are automatic. That's what they're known for. But this guy is my new Microtech. And it is just a do-all knife. I love it to death. It's huge. This is one of my bigger knives that I have, but it's got this deep carry pocket clip. So it goes all the way down into my jeans, even my little girl pockets, and fits. The colorway on this bad boy is called Bazooka. So there you go. That is my little blade ditty.
Rig Outdoors has got a good thing. Everything stopped. He's talking about the sound, you know. The
Goshawk replied to. I have him on there.
Everything stopped. So it stands to reason that an aggressive predator was not far from you. I was also a Maine state game warden and experienced many weird things in the northern Maine woods.
Interesting.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Remind us of that later, my man. And did you mark goshawks?
I did, sir.
Goshawk, our bird expert. Yes, too many birds to just go quiet all at once.
Yes.
And then our buddy Harbor King. You guys are tough. Those are the facts. Don't know about that. But the quartz thing is a step closer, I think. That scream was insanely angry. I think it's using quartz, and whatever it is using quartz because it's readily available in this area. And people sometimes talk about seeing stick structures, glyphs made out of pieces of woods. We may or may not have found stuff like that before. It might have been, I know one of them wasn't a natural fall, but we didn't see what made it. So maybe it was a person out there messing around. But this, at least, again, if you're dealing with something that could see into the ultraviolet spectrum, it's movable. It glows. There ain't no missing it. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It makes sense that something's using this stuff for navigation, communication, some sort of symbolic, like I don't know, like display of information. I don't know what it is. It's something bizarre. So
now we're getting into the realm of communication in terms of, now we're getting into the realm of culture, right? So if you're getting into that, this is not,
well,
would we get into that? Or is that a step too far?
One of the things that always gets me is people that like know everything there is to know about Bigfoot. They know their cultural, like, you know, peculiarities. They know their everything, breeding patterns, like, you know, all their habits, this, and this. And
which way they like to fart into the
yeah,
wind.
and I'm just going, but yet you can't, you know. So if it's some sort of like symbolism, then yeah, that speaks of culture, you know, that speaks of a culture. And in a lot of explanations for whatever these things are, there has to be a culture there.
Yeah.
There's a culture of like secrecy. There's a culture of stay hidden from these people. There's a culture of
passing knowledge down.
Make sure you're dead. Don't end up in their hands. Make sure this, make sure that. That's a culture.
Yeah.
You're dealing with something that is like singularly focused on avoiding people,
its existence,
except for occasionally when they just show themselves. None of this stuff makes sense. None of it makes sense.
Ray Melendrez. Next level thinking is where it's at, and you guys are there. Keep it up. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Right?
Got my cough drop in. Apologize. So I don't know. That's where we're at. But I'm just telling you right now, I thought the Grove was done. The Grove ain't done. Now there's new stuff in the Grove that we've got to figure out. And the quartz thing is so important because even we just started joking about it constantly with QuartzGate. And now, what was the guy's name? The gear review guy?
Luke from Outdoor Gear Review.
He's seeing it. Somebody else is seeing it. And I guarantee you other people have seen it. And yeah, it's not outside the realm of possibility that a person did it. It's not outside the capabilities of a person to do some of it. But that doesn't mean a person did it, especially in these areas with like other weird activity going on. Or maybe it is. Maybe there's people going on there and there's some sort of interaction between other people that we haven't run across yet and whatever's going on out there. Nothing exists in a vacuum. We're out there looking for weird stuff. Maybe there's other people out there looking for weird weird stuff. You can't ever say never.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I got some more stuff marked on there if you want to drive through that.
Kaiju Ninja, quartz related to possible portals. I have no clue. I have no clue. Maybe it's just a communication tool because it's there in the environment and it's highly visible and it's got nothing to do with that at all.
Yeah.
Maybe the like kind of unique properties of quartz would lead something to like that. And that's woo is all hell, and I got no problem entertaining it. But I'm here for it. But I don't know. I don't even know how I would prove something like that. But I don't consider that impossible. I just don't know. I don't know.
What I'm really excited about is we've been out of the grove for so long. I feel like we've been out of the grove for what, a year, maybe more. Think about where we've come in that year in terms of our equipment and our skill sets and even just our methods of investigation, even just the level of awareness we have when we're observing the environment that we're in. Think about how far we've come since the last time we were in the grove. So even if we go into areas that we've explored before, we're going to go in there with fresh eyes. At the end of all of this, like us going in there, this is like looking at the grove with a brand new set of eyes because we're not the same people we were a year ago. We're better, we're faster, we're smarter, we're better looking.
I definitely got better looking over the last year.
I mean, my God. No, but we've got better equipment. We're better at what we do. We have better skill sets. We're better investigators.
So real quick, Tanya Johnson, Jess, do you have an email I can send photos from last night? Hellbent Holler was not working right for a while, but that is good to go. So you can send them to hellbentholler
at gmail.com.
hellbentholler@gmail.com. If you need an immediate response, don't send it because that ain't gonna be an immediate response. I just got to be honest with you that I have a floor full of equipment from this past weekend that has to get clean, charged, ready to go for
it's everywhere.
A couple days. So that takes priority. We get to emails as we can. Love to hear from you.
But we're about to dive into some serious investigations over the next couple of weeks. So we are going to be so bogged down.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited because it's some new stuff, new location, new encounters, new stuff altogether. So we're excited for it.
Texas Bigfoot Ranger, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Texas Bigfoot Rangers.
We appreciate it. Enjoyed that video at 3 a.m. this morning. Sounded like something was pissed off. I agree with your assessment. I don't know what it was. It didn't sound like local normal wildlife. And it conveyed emotion to me. It didn't. Yeah. It sounded angry. It sounded like
enraged.
It was a personally offended at maybe us, maybe something else. But I'm telling you right now, the hair went up on my arm, and I don't even think I ever got a good shot of it because a couple times that's happened, and I always try to film it to show you. Yeah, the hair is standing straight up on my arms. I was literally just going. I mean, it just had nothing like zapping, nothing like that. It's just that the emotion, the negative emotion that came across from that was just like uncomfortable to kind of be there and go, we've got miles to go before we're out of here if we decided to leave right now.
I was just thinking, when that happened, we had not gotten any clear vocalizations up to that point. No. I was just thinking, what was happening prior to that? What was something that changed in what we were doing, how we were conducting ourselves prior to that occurring that would maybe cause a angry reaction? Prior to that, we came into that field. We were going through the woods and we were just kind of moving through the woods. And then we came into that open hilltop and we were using that high-powered flashlight that Scorpius gave us. And we were going across the tree line with it, back and forth. We did that maybe 3 or 4 times. And we were really shooting that really powerful flashlight just all around us on a 360 motion. And then it was after we did that on that open hilltop that we got that angry reaction. So maybe it was because of our behavior that led to that, where we're shining that super bright flashlight all around us. Because prior to that, we had just been moving through the woods with a flashlight, with red light, with just normal levels of light, just kind of moving through the woods along this trail. And then we come into that open area and we're just flashlighting with that monster flashlight all around. And then it was directly after we did that we got that insane, angry vocalization.
Well, the people aren't really out there after dark. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, there's really not enjoyable hiking out there. There's old Forest Service roads. There's no camping out there. I guess you could like sneak in and like, stealth camp if you really wanted to, but there's really no people out there after dark. So it was either upset that there were people there when there's not supposed to be people there, or that wasn't directed at us in the slightest.
Yeah. Well, there's that possibility.
Something else was going on that we didn't see. Territorial challenge between two of them. Maybe who knows? It could just be, again, and we don't even know what it was that made that vocalization, but it felt angry. It sounded angry. It conveyed fury, not just what we heard at Morris Mountain sounded different.
Yeah.
What we heard at the LBL sounded different. Even that very loud canine sound that we caught in the field did not. This is the angriest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yes.
This was just something was like pissed off and ready just to like do some damage, man. So.
All right, we've got some more stuff on here. Texas Bigfoot Rangers got us again, boy. Buddy.
What do you got?
I thought you were on there.
Nope.
You're not on there.
Nope.
Texas Bigfoot Rangers. Thank you again. Like you said, nobody is there at night.
Thank you so much.
And in order to have somebody hear a vocalization or record one, they have to be there. And we were the only people out there. Anytime we've been out there at night, we've been the only people out there.
Yeah. Rick Skinner's got a good one. What would Bigfoot do if they heard a gong, Jessica?
I don't know. What would Bigfoot do?
If there's any Bigfoots in the chat,
keep your ears peeled for.
Keep your ears peeled.
Lady Wolf has one on there. On down a little bit if you want to.
What's Lady Wolf got? Let's see. Give her a damn it, Janet. Have you considered playing back the vocals you recorded, doing an investigation to see if they react to it? We have never really done call blasting before, but we're talking about trying to maybe do it exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Get really clean samples of the vocalizations that we capture and then play them back, both in the areas where we captured them at, and then in other areas with like different activities, see what it does. Yeah, we're considering doing that. Right now, we're at a really frantic pace doing these small town monsters documentaries. So we did just get some support from a very generous benefactor that actually we're going to use on a new camera.
Yep.
That is going to
change the way we do everything.
Upgrade our ability to like actually film in the field. Because again, all this is great. The grail of Hellbent Holler is to have a Class A sighting on video.
4K, baby.
That is not a 10-second clip with no context. You see what happened before, you see it, you see what happened after. It's on an SD card. It can be shown that there was no alteration to it. That's what we're after.
Yes.
So we're using that support to kind of get a new camera because we think that's the most valuable thing. And then we are going to probably in the next few months start to look into, because I'm gonna be honest with you, we don't have any call blasting equipment. Like Miguel and Adam and all of them had some really nice, like,
and it was really cool because we'd never done that before.
Yeah.
And we did that at the campground where they did it while they were out there with us. And honestly, as much as I've poo-pooed it before, because maybe I've been a little turd. Maybe I've been the turd in the glass case about it. It was awesome.
Seeing it done was pretty cool. So
I'm gonna change my stance. I'm officially
yeah, you'll probably see us doing it. But see what else we got.
We've got some stuff marked in there if you want to take a little look. See,
Andrew, the summer is killing poor Andrew. I'm just crazy. Don't mind me. It's too hot here. Yeah, 3-day scanning now a thing instead of plaster. I actually have a. Do I still have it on here? Did I just play around with it and then delete it off? Scaniverse or something like, yeah, Scaniverse. I've got the Scaniverse app on my phone. Ever since I've downloaded that, we have not really found, we found like track impressions. We haven't found a good solid track in like mud or bare dirt or anything like that.
Time.
So that's a.
Did you say bear? Oh, bare dirt. I thought you were talking about
bare dirt.
I was like, what is bare dirt?
Danger Dave, when is STM going to go on your expedition?
We want to eventually one day
take Aaron Deese
out into the field. We definitely want to do that.
And then we want to do a good old fashioned ghost hunt with Heather.
Yes.
So that's in the plan. So we're going to be wrapping it up here in a minute.
We are. Let's get through the rest of these chats. We can't leave anybody behind.
So
Last call for chats, by the way, if you guys have anything you want to say.
So where is, hold on, I just saw something.
Paul Green says wildfire visible luminescent paints, blacklight paint. I'm going to write that down. I have a really good pigment I'm desperate to use, but I'll write this down as well. Thank you for that, Paul Green.
Kaiju Ninja. Joe, what about playing low frequency sounds rather than vocalizations? I still stand by the fact that I don't even think that Bigfoot's using infrasound for communication. And I'll go into, I talked a little bit about that, but you need to have very special adaptations biologically to be able to generate really powerful infrasound and to detect it, to like hear it. And maybe they're using it in communication. We're one of the few Bigfoot people out there that actually runs an infrasound detector. And we've only really had 2 spikes that possibly could be associated with Bigfoot. And we caught corresponding infrasound spikes with some vocalizations that we were hearing. But we could try it. I mean, I'm saying we could try it, you know. It's to play sub 20 hertz sound, you need some like special stuff that ain't light. So we would almost have to do it near a vehicle, but we could do it probably eventually. So we could build an infrasound generator, but that definitely ain't going to be backpack portable. That's, you're gonna have to need that from the back of a truck.
That'd be a lot of fun though, wouldn't it?
Do it, man. Maybe find that brown note. Anyway.
You know, our shows are always very poop centric, aren't they?
Pyro. Bear dirt like gorilla pee. Still looking for that gorilla pee. If anybody's got a line on some good old fashioned gorilla pee.
Old fashioned
gorilla pee. Hit that like button on your way out, guys. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't mind, if you haven't watched.
Thank you, Ada. Great show, you two. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. If you haven't watched our last investigation video that came out last night, give it a like, give it a watch. I don't know what that hype thing does, if it does anything at all, but give it a hype if you are so inclined.
It hypes it up, bro.
Hype it up, bro. Leave a comment, do everything like that. See if we can try to get it. We're shocked at how well that did. We hadn't released a field investigation in a bit. We've been releasing the big investigations on the Small Town Monsters channel, but we kind of just threw this out of nowhere. Nobody really knew it was coming. We released it on a Monday.
Rapid response investigation.
Jesse killed it with the edit and the presentation on it. And I'm shocked that we almost I think we had like 800 or 900 people on the premiere last night, which is bizarre to me on a Monday like that. But give it a like, you know, help a couple of independent Bigfoot folks.
Thank you for that paint suggestion, Paul. I wrote that down on my pad here. T-Bone says, T-Bone, I love T-Bone's name. I live in North Georgia. I was with a group one night and they blasted wounded animal sounds and things went wild. T-Bone, if you've had any experiences in the North Georgia region, you can email us at hellbentholler@gmail.com.
I almost forgot.
What did you almost forget?
If you have had any Bigfoot experiences in North Georgia, specifically around the area of the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest, or more specifically Blood Mountain.
In the Blood Mountain Wilderness or around Blood Mountain itself, feel free. We're begging you. Reach out to us. Hellbentholler@gmail.com.
Feel free. Just do it.
Just do it.
Put in the subject line, Blood Mountain, and you will get a damn quick response for us right now because we're prioritizing that. We are looking for people who have had experiences up there. Reach out.
Yes.
Let us know. Anyway, that's
Barney
all I got.
Blue says, thank you, Jesse and Joe and Lady Wolf for having our backs. Take care, Hellbender fam. I cannot say it better myself. Amy says, thanks for a great show and for a fabulous premiere last night. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us for the premiere last night, watching our crazy, funky little video, listening to the vocalizations we captured, and thank you for joining us for the show tonight. Thank you for everybody for all the super chats, the super stickers, all of that. Huge thank you to our members for being a part of this whole project. If you're a member and you're not part of the Discord and you want to be, make sure you email us at hellbentholler@gmail.com, which we put that out there in the subject line. Put Discord link and give us your YouTube handle so we can confirm your identity so we can invite you over to the Discord. Joseph?
Zabazow.
More maroon pants in the woods. Those pants were so tight.
Those pants were a big hit. A couple more pairs of pants like that. We're going to be at 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Anyway, Okie, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
we're out.
That's it.
We're gonna get some food, and then we are getting
dinner.
refitted up tonight before we go to bed for the next round of investigation.
T-Bone, reach out to us. He said he's like 30 minutes from up there. So you got our email right there. T-Bone, give us a little shout right there. All right, guys, thank you so much. As always, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Good night, Hellbenders. Have a good one.